welcome back to the channel, you guys. Welcome back to the boat gang. Got the Deltaforce 29 build on the block, okay? Today we're going to be upgrading the driveline. I'm running 4mm, same direction cables in the boat right now, forcing me to run left-hand lay props. I just got an order in from Offshore Electrics, some new cables we're going to assemble in this video, modify the stuffing tubes to house our new coupler or collets, and basically unpackage this, and hopefully we'll get to the pond. So stick around, you guys. Big B with Ironclad RC. So let's get into the package here, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the silicone cooling line. I got 6 feet of red, 3 feet of white, and 3 feet of black. I don't know if I'm going to use it on this boat because this cooling line, it's a little bit heavier than this TFL small cooling line, so I might actually keep this cooling line in the boat. Only time will tell, but you get more flow, but the temperatures have been cool with this setup. You know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. The red would look really cool in there, you know, but I like the lightweight aspect of that smaller cooling line. Okay, you don't have to put extra large cooling line on every single boat. You know, it does look nice, but it's heavy. It's a little bit heavy. If you're weight conscious, you know, think about that. So I actually picked up an 8th drive dog for my Miss Geico 17. That's why you guys hadn't seen it in a while. I cracked my drive dog, so I got that. Okay, on my Deltaforce we're running OSE couplers. Okay, 4mm to 4mm. All right, we're running a 4mm flex cable, 4mm stinger. Okay, so I'm actually going down in cable size on this boat, so I had to pick up a collet. Okay, I'm going with a collet opposed to a coupler, so we'll actually have to make this fit in the boat. We're going to have to cut the existing stuffing tube down to make that fit because it's a little bit longer. Okay, this is a 4mm to 0.130. 0.130 cable. It's smaller than a 4mm cable, if I'm not mistaken, and if I'm wrong, I'll put it up in the corner here. I think it's 3.25mm. It's 0.130. Okay, so I'm going down in cable size using the same stuffing tubes, and I should be able to use a Teflon liner. So this is the stub shafts I got, okay, for my 4mm stinger. This is an Etti 4mm 76mm long stub shaft. All right, it's bored to 0.130 to fit a 0.130 cable. Okay, I use JB Weld to make my connection. On these smaller applications, this works fine. I actually know how to solder the cable on, but I actually, it's quicker to solder it on, but I actually like this method. It works for 0.98 to 0.150. It works. Okay, 0.187, not so much. Okay, so I actually picked up some 3/16 Zubber nuts for my 3/16 larger boats. Okay, these are these nuts right here, they grab more so than a nylon locking nut. Okay, it's it's almost like a tapered bore. Okay, it's like this side right here is a little bit larger than this side, and it actually like grabs onto the stub shaft. So if you don't want to lose a prop, pick you up some Zubber nuts. Okay, they're cheap and they work. Okay, and that finally brings us to the cable. Okay, so what I like to do, and I've told you guys this before, I'm a cheap ass. Okay, so what I like to do is get unassembled cables. Okay, these cables here, they come as a cable, a liner, stub shaft. Okay, it also has a drive dog included. So what I like to do is get the unassembled cable, and I'll pick up an extra stub shaft. A lot of times you can get, like for these 0.130 cables, you can get a 3/16 shaft, which is what I have here. You can get a 3/16 step down to 1/8, and Etti, like I said, offers the 4mm. Okay, so you know, I can make 2 cables out of this. You know what I'm saying? Possibly 3, or have a backup cable in case I spin one. Okay, so we got left and right hand leg cables. All right, one for the left, one for the right hand side of the boat, so we can run counter rotating props. Like I said, we got the OSC 3814, the 4214 Oxidean, and a 42 high rake, which is a 1.9 pitch Oxidean. Okay, I can't wait to run these props. I think it's gonna be a game changer. So I actually have other videos with the JB Weld connection process. I just did it for my Imperial Pocket Rocket a few videos back, so I'll include a link for that if I remember. I actually have another build coming up for the channel. We're doing another twin motor, and I'm not starting to build this month. It'll be next month, but I'm ordering everything for the build. It's going to be a 21-inch catamaran. Okay, twin motor, 21-inch catamaran. I got it, the hull, it's a fiberglass hull. I got it from the same vendor that Brandon had gotten this little 13-inch hydroplane from. I'm actually working on the paint job right now. It's turning out pretty good. So he's sending me that, and he does have these hulls available right now, and he should have the 21-inch catamaran available. Okay, so I've been meaning to tell you guys about these. These are just common kids pipe cleaners. They use them for crafts, but I use them. I'm using it today. I dipped it in alcohol, okay, to clean out the bore on my stub shaft. I keep them around. Like, I keep several of them in my inventory. Like, I got them laying around everywhere. I use them to clean out the threads on my grub screws before I Loctite. Okay, I'll get the grease off my grub screw threads, especially on this style coupler. Okay, I use them all the time. I got my cables assembled. I'm waiting for them to cure out. I've already cut one side down. Okay, right now I'm loosening up my motor so I can slide my coupler off this side so I can cut this side down. I just took my Dremel with a grinding wheel and grinded it down. Kept my stuffing tube cool so it don't weaken my epoxy. Okay, so I got a couple little tricks for you. All right, I use a flex driver to get into these tight places. You guys know that, but I haven't showed you guys this yet because I just figured it out. Okay, about a week or two ago. This is just get you a box end wrench that fits over your flex driver. Okay, and you can use that wrench to maneuver your flex driver in and out of tight places. Just kind of keep a little bit of pressure on it one way or the other, and you can put that flex driver pretty much anywhere. Okay, I used to use a pair of pliers, these 90-degree pliers right here, and I would kind of hold it in place, but the harder you squeeze, the harder it would be to turn the screwdriver part. So this right here works really good. Okay, works really good getting into tight places. Make sure your box end fits over the flex driver tight, and it makes it a lot easier for you. Okay, so basically that's done. Okay, I'm gonna pull all that off. I'm not gonna video it all. Just gonna grind it down so my coupler, my Octura coupler, where's that, fits on the motor shaft, and basically about 3mm gap from the end of the coupler to the stuffing tube. Okay, so it's the next day. I got my collets on. I still need to blue Loctite them in place, but they're on the boat. We'll blue Loctite them in a few. I got my cables cured out. I got the drive dog slit cut for my cable. I basically took the largest hubbed propeller, put it on my cables, made sure I can get a nut on, put my smallest hub prop on, kind of split the difference, okay, so I can get my small props and my large props on. These Etti shafts, they have a long threaded area, so it's kind of nice. So I'm just going to use my old cable, put my drive dog on the drive dog here, and I marked them. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut it with a Dremel cutoff wheel. Okay, going to cut them off around the ends, solder it, and then we'll get the Teflon liner installed, stingers installed, cable installed. I got both cables cut to length. I got a little gap there because this is a thin cable and it may have a little bit of shrinkage. Now we're about to cut our Teflon liner. Okay, So what I've done is I put my cable up to my stinger base, left my little gap there, and marked the end of my shaft. Okay, I'm basically going to run my Teflon liner out the stinger base into my stinger, basically to that line right there. Okay, so we basically put our Teflon liner in the stuffing tube. Okay, put it in the stuffing tube. I'm gonna run mine so it kind of comes out the stuffing tube a little bit, but not too far. And we're gonna put our stinger barrel up to the boat and mark so it basically sits right there in the stinger base. Okay, basically gonna sit right there parallel with the barrel. Okay, and I'm gonna mark my Teflon liner, okay, where my mark is on my barrel, and cut it. Now our Teflon liner's cut. I'm basically going to use a little E6000. It doesn't take much. You don't want to permanently glue these things in. You want to be able to remove them at one point, you know, so don't put too much glue on them. I mean, if it's a tight fitting Teflon liner in your stuffing tube, you don't need glue. But if they're kind of loose, which mine are, I mean, they got some play, and it would probably be okay without glue, but I'm going to use some E6000. Why not? I actually have my Teflon liner in. Okay, they're basically lightly glued in place so they don't move. Put my stinger barrel on. I put a little bit of blue Loctite on this retainer nut right here. This right here is basically to keep the stinger barrels from like shifting under high load. You know, they'll actually torque over if this nut right here is not cinched down nice and tight. So I'm basically going to get that tightened up and install the cables, and I'll show you what it looks like, then we'll go to the pond. I got everything Loctited, my cables are in, got my gap set, got my Teflon thrust washer on, and I forgot to show you guys this, and I'm not going to disassemble everything, but when you put your propellers on your cables, make sure you got a left-hand lay cable with a left-hand lay prop, a right-hand lay cable with a right-hand lay prop. So what I do is I'll use a cable I know is left-hand lay, which is counterclockwise for most all single motor applications. Okay, I'll use that left-hand lay prop flex cable to check the direction of my cable. Okay, so you guys see the difference in the cable lay. This is a right-hand lay, this is a left-hand lay. Okay, left-hand lay, right hand lay prop. Make sure you got that right. So I'll see you guys at the pond. She's all done. All right, so I got 3S on each side. Got the 3814s with a little bit of down angle. Let's give it a quick rip. Gonna do 4S each side in the next video. Oh, so it didn't cut out real hard whenever I come off the throttle. That's a good sign. So let's do it again. Ooh, still turns a little hard, a little sharp. Oh, I got the rotation turning inward, in toward each other. We'll try outward here shortly. It's actually handling a little bit better. Okay, so that's 0 steering trim, 0. Okay, so that seems better. That seems a lot better. Just trying to get reacquainted with the boat and its handling, the way it's handling, you know. Still cuts real hard, so I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna go down on my speed just a little bit on my left input. The speed, slow the speed down on my servo. I use some Expo to do that as well. All right, so let's put the 4214s on. So I got the 4214 Oxideans. Quickest way I know to do it is boom. All right, got the 4214s on. Those look pretty cool with that blue Etti nut on there. Purple and blue. Nice and smooth. All right, 3S and 3S. That's more like it. They ain't as fast as those modified Pro Boat props I had on there. Ooh. Now it's cutting hard to the right. Okay, so I'm actually gonna change my stinger position. All right, let's see what that does. No torque roll. Check it out. Check it out. No torque roll. Yeah, I'm gonna take some of the width off of this rudder, some width off the back. Still wanting to oversteer. Still wanting to oversteer. Got my travel turned down to about 60 per side. I think that's about our battery right there, you guys. It's not doing that off the wall cutout, you know. But it does oversteer, but it's not cutting unpredictably. So that's good. Now I just got to fine tune all my settings in my remote, and I think I'm gonna reduce the back of this blade, probably take it off to about the top of that S right there in 10 shock, reduce the width of it, and I think I'm gonna maybe put a little angle on the trailing, on the leading edge, okay, because the boat's kind of riding like this, okay, and it's riding like that. The leading edge, the bottom is pointed forward, okay. So when the boat's running like this underway, I want that leading edge to be vertical, not at an angle forward, okay. If anything, some angle back, you know. I think that's what's causing it. We'll see you guys next time. Big B, Ironclad RC.